Happy holidays, my friends. Welcome back to the Self Care with Daniela show, where we pretty much teach you and show you how to self care your ass out of anything over here. My name's Daniela. I'm the brand and business owner behind all things self care with Daniela. Now, on today's episode, it's really great for you if you've got a lot of shit going on, which a lot of us do. We're getting really close to the holidays, and I know a lot of us just want you want a little bit of peace, you want a little bit of like lightness, you want to feel like you can breathe, you need a little bit of help with just managing all the things that you have on your plate. Now, today's episode is going to be pretty simple and short because I know that you have a lot of things to do, you have a lot on your plate, and the last thing that you want to do is like try to just put more time and put more noise in your head. You just like need to take action and get things done. So it was actually suggested to me by one of my sisters. We were talking about things that I was mentioning to her how I'm going to be coming on twice a week. And in the past, there's been times where it just hasn't planned out, hasn't gone the way as planned. And now we're taking like a new approach to things, and this is me showing up for you so that way you have really some really nice tools in your toolbox on a weekly basis because I know how much that means for me. I have subscribers that I follow, and they show up every single week on repeat, and the things that they deliver instantly shift my mood, and I just I just honestly feel like I need to give that back for you guys. So, we're going to talk about how to create a simple routine, and we're like juggling because I wanted to like separate this, but it's like no, we're going to keep it short and sweet, and we're going to separate between self-care, so that's prioritizing you, your personal, your well-being, whether it's like your skincare routine, your workout routine, like reading, that kind of stuff, that's for you, not for your kids. This is for you, okay? And then we're also going to break down your home. So how does that look like for like managing meals, managing cleanliness, and the kids? The last thing that we're going to include is the CEO version of you, the version of you that's handling your business, that's handling your work, that's handling the job, that kind of thing. So, realistically, I want to shift our energy, and it just give trust me on this, because it really does work. Energy, what you put out there and the vibe that you're feeling is what you're going to get back. And I'm going to say that on repeat over here, and this is exactly why I teach you how to self-care, because when you pour into you and you feel better, now you have the right mood and energy to go into things, and then you get that in return. And I had to go through some things and actually be cunty towards people and realize that that was getting me nowhere. And also, things were happening like for me. I don't want to say to me, but for me in a way so that I could actually create this for you and teach you how to move through this at home on a regular basis, and when you fall off you'll always have tools to come back to. So we're just going to start off with like, I want you to take a moment, and if you're driving, if you're in the shower, if you're cleaning, first let's just take a deep breath. And also we need to get into that vision state, that state of like dreamness, the state of like, you know what, like how do I want it to look like? Visualize like what you want the day to look like. And it may not be task by task, but you're gonna have like a general idea of like, okay, in the mornings, I wanna have like I want to have a little bit of time before my kids get up, or in the mornings I want to be able to work for 30 minutes or whatever it is, right? So let's get into that visualized state, so that way you can get excited, and your body and your brain and the energy that you feel is getting comfortable with what you want to come forward. And ultimately, with that vision, with that dream, when you hold it long enough and if you start acting on it on repeat, w- magic and miracles start to unfold, baby. But let's get back into there. So I'll start going first for me in a day-to-day visual, like a dream, and I live a lot of this. So some days are a little bit different than others, but I actually the what you see now, I dreamt this 10 years ago. I'm 28, and I remembered even in the very early beginning stages of my 20s, I was already making changes because I knew I wanted to have more ease. I wanted to have more flow. I wanted to have wellness as a top priority. And that's why I can come on here and share it with you. So, with that visualization, it's like having chunks of time and utilizing your time wisely. And so, for me, I knew I always wanted to prioritize my health. I knew I wanted to not only feel good, but also look good and didn't have to be with the full face. It didn't have to be with all these amazing like the shoes, the bag, like it didn't matter that. It was just like little things to boost my confidence. And sometimes it's like having no makeup and having a clean face, no acne feels really good. Sometimes it's maybe lashes, sometimes it's a cute something that I'm wearing. But part of that is also how does my body feel? It's like a body check. And so I knew that I needed to get into like a habit of that. So starting off with I visualized how I wanted me to feel, how I wanted to look. I knew I wanted to incorporate some kind of reading, some kind of um like daily routine outside because I know how much that is beneficial for our body, not only like nature wise, but like think of like cardio when you go on a walk. Like that's helping your heart, it's helping your lungs, it's helping like all the things. So I really took that and I do this regularly. I'm constantly in like the daydream state because that allows me to get back into like, okay, now I just have to go and act. Now every day you have a choice. Every day you have um something to feed. You can either feed going after what you want or feed staying in the same position. I'm choosing to feed going after what I want. You're choosing to be feeding going after what you want. That's why you come to me. That's why we're looking for evidence. I'm your evidence. I'm going to keep showing up for you. I'm telling you on here. And if not, y'all need to come into my DMs, okay, and be like, where have you been? Please. We're going on this journey together. Trust me, it can happen. I understand if you've been in a really sticky situation lately, things have been feeling super heavy. You're not alone. A lot of people feel like that. But behind every single rainstorm, every single cloud, there's a rainbow and there's sun behind there. And behind every single season of doubtness, everything has a yin and a yang. And once you have that feeling of doubtness and fear, you have to choose to feed the faith and feed the opposite. And so I want to remind you that it will get better. Back to what we're saying. Um, let's get down to after you visualize and after you really you're thinking of like, okay, now I've gotten myself taken care of. Now I've gotten like let's get into like home things. How am I that people got to eat to keep us going, and like our house needs to be clean, and like how is it that I can maintain my house and the meals and not do so much in a day and not feel like burnt out by 10 a.m. Yes, if you take power naps, that's okay. We're the power nap queens over here, so don't feel guilty if you need to rest for a little bit. The key is not to be down all day. The key is to be down for a minute and then bounce back up. So now you visualized your home, and most important, we don't want to like put this on the back burner, but the CEO version of you. Now your house is taken care of. Like you have no fucking excuses, man. Literally, this your job is going to get the best version of you, and they should at all times if your house and yourself is taken care of. Because at this point, You're just coming up to do your job. You're leaving everything else at the door because you've already trusted the process. You've already surrendering. You're having faith to everything that you're doing. That like now you just show up, do your job, and let everything else fall into place. And then when you do your job good, it's crazy that the universe and everything rewards you for that. And I don't want you to take that lightly. Like, I may sound sarcastic, but I just want you to, I just really want to shine light on that because we don't give that enough credit that it's like, no, when you put good out there, you will get good in return. Period. Let's go back into these steps. So after you get into that visualization steps, now you're daydreaming, you're like, you know what? Maybe I want to work from home and I never like I just don't like this job that I have, or maybe I want to like, however your visualization is, write it down, do a voice note, but literally don't play around with how you visualize it because that energy that you're putting behind it, it will come true. And have fun with it every day. Get into that daydream state. Now, let's get into action. Now you've got all this fun momentum, your body's feeling juicy, your mind is excited, your heart is flowing with all this good energy, and you're like, damn, that can happen for me. If it can happen for D, it can happen for me. If it can happen for my sister, it can happen for me. If it happened for Oprah, it can happen for me. If it happened for um Rihanna, it can happen for me. If it happened for Kim Kardashian, it can happen for me. Okay? So I'm just saying, you're not someone that it can't happen to. After this, now it's action. How can we make the action steps easier? Because no one wants to do hard shit. Everything is already fucking hard. No one wants to do anything hard, anything difficult, anything stressful. Oh my god, I sound like I'm screaming. I'm getting into it. Okay. No one wants to do hard stuff, so you need to plan ahead and just do the damn thing. Like, fuck it, just do it. Okay, so let's start off with us because over here at Self Care with Daniela, we prioritize ourselves without feeling guilty over here. So, always the night before, it starts the night before, it starts with the energy the night before. Pull out your clothes and figure out what it is that you're trying to accomplish in the beginning of the day. It's like, the beginning of the morning is always like, I definitely incorporate one task that I need to do for work. Before I do my work task, I get into my clothes that I'm going to change into so I can take my dog on a walk. I have my cup of coffee, and I also do my yoga and my meditation. And I'm really like, I try not to double think it, but my journaling at least 4 to 5 days a week. I'm trying to get into 7 because it just makes a huge difference every single day that I journal. And then reading. Sometimes if I'm like kind of rushed that morning, excuse me, I'll save reading for like lunchtime. But reading is a huge thing to get my brain back into like an excitement of life. And it does matter what you read. If you want to learn the book that I'm reading, send me a DM. But I really feel like reading just shifts my mind. And so think the night before what you're trying to get done. And maybe for you, your home thing is like, okay, I just want to be able to shower in the morning and have a good skincare routine and change my clothes. Like, that's it. Okay. Boom. Put your clothes out the night before. Put your alarm on. When your alarm goes on, take a deep breath. Give your body a check and understand this is all mental. This is silent. This is you versus you, boo. You know that song, Me versus Me? Like, think of that. um, literally put that mindset and say, you know what, maybe my body's a little sore, whatever. Thank you, universe, for giving me another day. Boom, and get up. And I always, before I get out of bed, I have a conversation with the universe and I ask them for guidance. I ask them for support, for love and connection so that I can allow that to flow through me and to me and throughout everything that I touch and that I do. Now, you don't have to go that deep, but it takes little small things like this, so that way you can pretty much shift your energy into just trusting. But get out of bed, and go right into what you're going to do. Take a shower, make that coffee, put the yoga pants on, whatever it is that you're doing, but don't hesitate and ask for guidance and just thank your body for another day, because when you cannot be pissed off and thankful at the same time. Let me say it again. You can't be pissed off and thankful at the same time. So remind your body, remind your mind, spirit, everything that you're thankful to have another day, and then go into it. Okay, now we've gotten our action steps. And I work really great on timers. I always, everything is sections of the day. What am I getting done in this chunk of 25 minutes? What am I getting done in this chunk of 3 hours? Like everything has sections. So now you've got your steps, and put that on repeat. Put it on repeat for your home. Now, like section for home. If you're trying to juggle meals, it's planning ahead. Do not wait until the last minute. It's planning ahead. Get the whole week done. Put it on a paper, print it out. If you have a little whiteboard, write it on your whiteboard. But literally all you have to do is plan ahead. If you want to get your family involved, I do. To me, eating is a really beautiful experience that we get to have together, and I like to include, my son, my partner, and that way everyone's happy. It's like a loving thing. I definitely show an act of like love through food, because I feel like when you can make a good meal and you make someone happy through food, it's like you're fucking winning. So get ahead with it. Be appreciative that you have money to go buy the food. And like again, you're gonna hear me talk about this attitude of gratitude, but you can't be pissed off and be cooking a meal at the same time if you're appreciative of it. So get a piece of paper down Monday through Friday, or do it in your notes app. Like there's no excuses of why. That what's gonna be upset is when your Monday evening comes around or Sunday evening comes around and you're like, fuck, what am I going to make for dinner? Okay, so put that out of the list. Now it's like family stuff. Schedule one day for laundry, schedule one day for cleaning your bathrooms, and schedule one day for cleaning your floors. That's it. Bottom lined it for you. So now your home is done, your cooking is done. Now we're moving on to the last hat. The last hat is your CEO hat. Okay, so your CEO hat is probably the most important because we spend a lot of time there. So it's up to us to have the right energy, to have the right vibe behind it, the right attitude. So, one, be appreciative that you have a job, be appreciative that you get to serve the people in the way that you do, be appreciative that you are using this as a creative outlet and you get paid for it. And if you don't feel creative enough, then maybe those are little nudges in your body for you to find something else. And there's nothing wrong with that. In the contrast or in things not going right, that is when we find what we want. That is what we find how we want to change things going forward. That's when we find the clarity. Everyone wants to know where the fucking clarity is. You get the clarity when I'm laughing because I'm getting rowdy again. You guys know I'm getting passionate over here. Okay, you get the clarity when you have the contrast. You get the clarity when things aren't going right. You get the clarity when things are falling apart, because then you realize you don't want that anymore. So instead of shaming yourself for having things not going your way, or having, a bump in the road, or having things, having curveballs, whatever, having stress, that allows you to see what you don't want so you can make changes to move forward. Now it's up to you if you are not making changes. You cannot be pissed off at anyone else other than yourself if you're not ready and willing to make those changes. And excuse me, none of us are ready. You just have to do the damn thing and find ways to make it easier. I already told you, rewind it if you need to find ways. Let me recap you. Create that vision. That vision does require work. I hate to bring it to you, or break it to you, but it does require work. But you can make the work easy. You can have a good cup of coffee with all the tiny little details so it's so delicious and you're so excited to wake up. You can spark a candle while you're at work, or have a little scented spray so that when you're at work it smells good and the vibe feels good, or decorate the area with holiday decorations. You can put on your favorite song on your favorite podcast when you take your dog on a walk, so you're in a total, like, fun, light, happy vibe, peaceful vibe, whichever vibe you're going for. It's really lightness, peacefulness, not feeling so heavy, just feeling fucking good. I understand because some of us are feeling a lot of the opposite right now, so you want to feel just even 2% better. Get back to that vision board and act on repeat. When things are showing you the opposite, you need to go against it. I understand it's hard. I understand that it feels messy and sticky. Darling, welcome to the real world. I hate to break it to you again, but no, I need to break it to you. That's why you come to me, is because I'm going to be honest and straight up with you. Okay, back to the CEO. This version of you has very minimal tasks that you need to do a day. So, bottom line, what tasks they are, start with them, work in increments. I like to do 25 minutes in a total of 2 hours. So, 2 hours a day, 25 minutes at a time. Once I'm done with those 2 hours, if there's more work that I need to do, then I come back and I repeat that whole process again. So, bottom line, your two tasks, break it down in little increments. If your work environment is not making you feel like it lights you up, maybe you work from home, like for me, maybe you need to get out the dang house. Maybe it's time to switch some things up. Bottom line it though, you don't need to do everything in a day. Less is more. Simplicity is what's going to allow us to actually want to do it. When things are easy, think of like a kid when you're trying to like put a puzzle together. It's like when things start getting so complicated, you're like, this is really too challenging. Like I like a challenge. But like I'm already challenged in other areas of my life, so I don't have the mental capacity or the energy to keep challenging. Okay, that's okay. That's totally fine. So bottom line it, and if you need to take, a little bit of time off during the holidays, reward yourself. Maybe it's not right away in December, maybe it's in January after the holidays, but I would definitely keep in mind that you are putting in work. There is a lot of moving parts. Things are going to consume more energy, and it's important to take care of yourself along the way. Schedule some time off for you. When you get yourself into that better energy state, the money will come, so don't even worry about it. The health is going to get better when you take care of you. Your home is going to get better when you take care of you. You are the main driver in your life. You're the main character, you're the main energy. You're the one that's delivering. Now, I hope this episode just really simplified it for you. I want it to feel like you can actually go home and do it and feel like you can take action steps. I do want to say I have created something super, just so simple for you. It's a downloadable PDF that pretty much breaks down your day by day. It's like a 7 day period, and you can repeat it, or ideally, you can even save it on like an iPad and or like a little Kindle kind of, or the little tablets, and then you can edit it on there and use that as like a daily planner. But ideally, it's going to help you break down everything that we talked about. It's at a super, super, super affordable price. Just go down into the link in the show notes and you can click right there, get an instant access, get it instantly emailed um, to the email that you sign up for, and you're ready to go. But this is a super productive, easy self care guide. It's your self care guide, it's like your bounce back guide. It's going to be your guide that's literally just going to help you feel like it simplifies things, but also puts things into motion. And it's something that I have always gone back to. I always use time and time again a planner. I live by them, and it may sound super adulty to have to schedule some things out, but that's what we have to do. We have a lot of things that we have to juggle, and I'm not gonna ask you to trust me. I'm just gonna tell you to just do the damn thing, because at this point, there's no other options. You're pissed off and stressed and a mess and we're overwhelmed, and there's no other options other than to just make a change, and this is the simplest change that you can do, because once you take those things off your list, now you have more room for like the creative things that you actually want to do that you keep putting off. Like I know so many people that put off things like a haircut, or things like um I don't know. I can't even, like, simple things that are like should be rewarding for you. And it's not that the money is the problem, it's because they're so worried about um everything else that they have to do. And let's change that worriness to have like faith and trust the process and action. Like simple action. Can I just say simple, easy, effective? Like that's the whole vibe that we're at here. All right. Please don't forget to send me a DM if you have any questions about this guide. It's the simplest guide. Share it, send me pictures, tag me on social media when you download it, because it's the most simplest, funnest little cute download you're ever going to have that's actually going to change the shit out of your day to day life. Period. End of story. Now go self care your ass out of anything.